Hey everybody, Wednesday the 1st of July, the eve of Arsenal's Premier League match against Norwich City, the first home game at the Emirates since the Premier League restart and project restart overall for the Premier League in England and not only world sport. It's been good to see everything getting back to normal. 3 o'clock kickoff coming up for us on Thursday morning. Normally we'd have a kickoff at around about 5 o'clock during daylight saving at this time of the year. 9-hour gap making those mornings a little bit worse than what they would be over the Christmas period, 7 a.m. games. But 3 o'clock in the morning is what it is, and we look forward to the first home game at what will be an empty Emirates Stadium, and thank God no cardboard cutouts at the ground, just a couple of big banners and things to dress up the stadium. Let's talk about the match ahead. Norwich City fighting for relegation. It's going to be a tough game against a team that performed really well on the weekend. I watched a fair bit of their FA Cup quarter-final against Manchester United, and they look pretty good. They look committed. A beautiful goal scored by Norwich in the second half as well, and unfortunately for them, whilst they took the game to extra time, they couldn't come away with a semi-final appearance, but they'll be buoyed by that as they move into these final games of the year. We've seen these type of teams come to the Emirates at this time of season and cause us a few problems in recent years, so we'll be looking to avoid that. Mikel Arteta's press conference was very interesting. He was asked about a range of issues. One of those was is how you go about breaking down a team like Norwich in this position, and what he talked about was the fact that in these situations, it's my job as a coach to show the players how you play against that type of team, to show them how you break down. So tactically, he looks like a very, very good manager, Mikel Arteta. He's someone that's growing on me every single day as the time passes, and we only hope he can do good things. He was questioned about his relationship with Pep Guardiola and the fact that he's come from the tutelage of the Manchester City boss, and it was really good to hear his praise for that boss. He said that he can lean on him when required, and I hope that continues. It sounds to me like Pep is giving him his ear when required and giving him advice when it's required in reverse as well. So for Arteta, that's going to be massive going forward, the fact that he can call on somebody so experienced whenever he needs it. And it depends how long Pep's going to stay at Manchester City too. We heard today that the final appeal ruling on their Champions League ban will be decided on July the 13th. So in around 2 weeks, we'll find out what happens to Manchester City for the next couple of years. Will they be in the Champions League? Or does that spell the end of Pep Guardiola if they can't get the Champions League won this year? And does it spell the end of his reign if they do win it this year? That's going to be a side plot which is very interesting. William Saliba was spoken about as well. He was asked whether or not he'll come back to the Arsenal team ahead of the end of the season, noting the fact that the loan back to Saint Etienne was only until 30 June. And when it comes to Saliba, Arteta's comments were that he wants him to stay at Saint Etienne and remain there. They're in a cup final against Paris Saint-Germain, so why not keep him there? And the fact that he deserves it to actually remain there and play in a cup final. So very interesting to hear how well regarded he is, and the fact that he's going to have big pressure on him next season is what was spoken about. But for now, he's going to remain there. When it comes to the rest of the players, of course, we do have some big injuries that will cost us moving forward, some longer term injuries. Looks like David Luiz has been added to that. Now, a lot of Arsenal fans out there will probably say that's not a bad thing, but I still think at the moment the more players that we have available and fit is what we need more than anything. So never mind the fact that he's had a couple of calamity displays. Our goal on the weekend against Sheffield United that we conceded was calamity in itself, and David Luiz was nowhere to be seen. And overall, whilst the fact that we were a little bit shaky in general on the weekend, I mean, Luiz wasn't involved in that specifically, so there's more work to do defensively overall than just the individual instances where he has made the mistakes. Overall, should be a pretty good game. I'm not sure we've got it in us to score a whole heap of goals. Prediction-wise, I'm going to say a 2-0 home win, but I'm just not sure we have the fluency in us at the moment going forward. Lacazette was talked about in Arteta's press conference as struggling with a bit of confidence, but he made the good point that when it comes to strikers, a lot of the confidence issues comes from your goal scoring and how many times you're putting the ball in the back of the net. So he needs to get some goals under his belt. Aubameyang's also been quiet. He should come back in, you'd expect, for this fixture. Whether or not we'll see Mesut Ozil is a question. Back soreness is what's being talked about now. I did hear last week as well that due to the fact that he's recently become a father for the first time, coupled with COVID, that his fitness has been an issue, which I can completely understand, that side of things. But now it's a bit of back soreness and a few other things. So how much to be believed or not, I don't know. But at the end of the day, let's put out a team that wins. Let's not worry about anything out of our control like that. Let's get back and support the boys, and hopefully we can make it 3 wins on the bounce, which for us will be big as we head into a pretty difficult fixture period. So come on, you Gunners. Let's see how we go. Secondarily today, I want to have a quick chat about Cristiano Ronaldo. Absolutely magnificent goal again this morning against Genoa. 3-1, Juventus winning, keeping their lead in the Serie A to, I believe, at 4 points. Lazio won as well, but they've opened up a bit of a gap as we head into the final stages of Serie A there in Italy. So Ronaldo will be looking to get that coveted Serie A title. He wants that bad. They were cut deep a couple of weeks ago when they lost to Napoli in the Italian Cup final, and it got to the shootout in that final, and Ronaldo didn't even take a penalty, so he'll be disappointed by that. But his goal this morning, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It was pure brilliance. Took the ball from on halfway, dribbled up to around about 25 yards out, and then rifled one into the back of the net. Unstoppable. He's still, for me, the ultimate player of this generation. He's still the best that we've seen in my mind in the last 15 years. This argument is a beauty, and maybe we can do an analysis in the coming weeks of the pros and cons. Ronaldo and Messi, the 2 greatest players of my adult generation, unbelievable players. But Ronaldo, for me, he's the ultimate package, the ultimate player. He's so fit at his age as well, mid-30s now, and just performing week in, week out. He's looking fit. He's adapted his mind. He's adapted his body year upon year, and he's just continually banging in the goals. And this morning's goal was just a thing of beauty for the Turin outfit. So all Juventus fans will be very happy as they approach another Serie A title. They're still favourites for me to win it, and Cristiano, of course, is the man. So check out his goal this morning, the second goal in their 3-1 win over Genoa. Absolutely magnificent.